Hey guys, my name is Britt Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag of 2021. So I've done this tag I think 2 or 3 times before. So you guys know what there is. It's 13 questions. I say the question and I use a book to reference to that question. So let's get started. Number 1, what is the best book you've read this year so far? So I am going to be moving around a little bit, so I do apologize. I know this might be kind of shocking to some people, but if you really know me, I immensely enjoyed The Emperor of Gold by S.A. Charbolti. I gave this 5 stars. This was one of the best, perfect, open-ended wrap-ups I've ever had to a trilogy, but I really love this, and this is one of my most anticipated releases of last year, and I got to it this year. I love this book so much. Number 2, best sequel. So probably the best sequel that I read this year so far is Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. I know this book kind of lacks luster for some people, and especially some of my friends who have read this, but I immensely enjoyed this because in the first book, this is the second book to Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This doesn't have as much as the fighting dynamic and getting to know the characters. This is much developing the love between the 2 main characters and seeing like how they're falling deeper and deeper in love with each other and admiration for each other. And I think I really enjoyed that because we got to see like a whole other side of not just the 2 main characters, but all the characters in this, other than the fighting and the crime and the villainness of this book. So this is probably the best sequel that I've read this year. Number 3, a new release this year that you haven't read yet. So I haven't read Blessed Monsters by Emily and Duncan. This is the 3rd book in her Wicked Saints trilogy. I absolutely want to try to get to this. Question number 4 is most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. So we have Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the 2nd book in her Kingdom of the Wicked. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or series just yet. I don't think we've heard. If we have, I do apologize, but I'm very, very excited about that. I have pre-ordered that book. And then also Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I'm excited for that one too. Question number 5, most disappointed reads. So I have 2 on here also. The Viners by Libra Bray. This was creepy and dark in 1920s vibe, and I loved everything about that. It just was too long, too detailed, and had like the most quick, short ending, and I was disappointed about the ending. And then also The Sky Weaver by Kristen C.C. Arley, I think. This is the 3rd book to her trilogy, and you follow different main characters throughout all of the Namsara books. But again, this one lacked luster for me, and it wasn't as good as the first 2 that actually unhauled all of them because I didn't want them on my shelf. Very, very disappointed in The Sky Weaver. Question number 6 is biggest surprise, and this is going to be a big surprise to a lot of you, but I immensely enjoyed Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I like everything else by Leigh Bardugo, so it's not her writing style that was a surprise to me. It was just the adultness of this book, the wicked, creepy, dark, weird things that happened in this book, and horrible things that happened in this book. Most of my friends who have read this book, including my boyfriend, think this is very dark and very, very bad with certain things that go on, but I loved it. Like, I still think about this book now. Like, I really, really loved this book, but going into it, I think I probably wasn't going to really like it. I do have to say there's parts in it that I think are just done for shock value, but in the same sense, I enjoyed it. Favorite new author to me. So even though I've only read 2 books by this author, I do like Brandon Sanderson's YA stuff. This is Skyward, and I also read the 2nd book in this series, which is Starsight. But I really like his writing and his worlds and everything that goes on in this. And then another new author, which I read a little bit of hers last year, 1 book last year, and then I read 4 of her books this year, which is Kingdom of the Wicked, Carrie Maniscalco. I found a love and passion. She also did Stalking Jack the Ripper, and I love this series, and I love this. And one of my most anticipated releases in October is the 2nd book to this, Kingdom of the Cursed. Question number 8 is new favorite character, and I really have to think about this because I'm not 100% sure, so let me look at my bookshelves and I will let you guys know. So this one was actually pretty hard, so I think I'm gonna go with Alex from Ninth House. I'm also gonna go with Nova and Adrian from Renegades. I'm also gonna go with with Poppy from Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, or from Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. But yeah, I think those are some new favorite characters. Challenge number 9 is new fictional crush. So I think I'm gonna go with Hades from A Touch of Darkness by St. Clair. I forgot the first name of this author. And then also I think I'm gonna go with Abel from the Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray, which is the machine in this book. I absolutely love him. 10, a book that made you cry. So I hate keep continuously to pull the same books up, but these are my favorite books of the year so far, so that's why I keep pulling them up. So I'm gonna go with The Emperor of Gold by S.A. Tarbolta. Even though this is my favorite book of the year, the ending was so perfect that I was like bawling my eyes out at the end. Like, this book is probably one of the only books I think that made me cry this year so far. Number 11, a book that made you happy. And I'm going to go with Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. This is so sweet and very dynamic. Hazel is a school teacher and Josh is a physical therapist, I think. And their dynamic between becoming friends and then more is so fun and interesting. And the ending is not what I thought it was going to be. It deals with real adult things and how you're going to deal with that. This book just made me so happy. 12, the most beautiful book you have received. I'm guessing like as a gift, so maybe The Crown of Gilded Bones. This cover by Jennifer Armentrout. This cover is pretty, I guess you can say. I don't really have like a beautiful like special edition book that I've received or gotten this year, so I think I'm gonna go with The Crown of Gilded Bones. So last but certainly not least, we're on question 13, books you want to read by the end of the year. So The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I haven't read this yet. Grace and Glory by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have a few other things that are new releases that I haven't read yet, so those are probably going to be on top priority to get done by the end of the year. Anyways guys, I hope you like this mid-year book freakout tag. Like I said, I do it every year, so you can check out my other ones. I'll put them down in the description for you guys. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing everyone soon in my next one. Bye!